Yo, you know this, man, the Kid Cortez, Brooklyn, Murder Ave Gang. You told them right now, bYc Radio.
bYc. You are now listening to Radio.
I just leaped another hurdle. I'm bringing you the classic murder. I just leaped another hurdle. I'm bringing you the classic murder.
bYc.
Yeah. Murder.
bYc Radio.
Murder.
Yes, sir. We back another episode, bYc Radio, bringing you Classics Radio. Salute to my co-host, Solo in the building. I go by the name of Biz Billa. We got a special guest in the building today. Some of y'all might just be getting familiar with him, but you need to wake the fuck up. He's been putting in, you feel me? Been putting in work for quite some time, from the UW all the way down to now on URL. Got to give it up for the special guest of the day, man. Real Sikh. What's the deal, fam?
What's good, yo? What's good? Thanks for having me.
Hey, for sure, man. We glad to have you, man. You're having an amazing year. We want to, pull back the curtain, let people get to know you a little bit, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
For sure. So tell the people, man, what was your early childhood and your upbringing like, man?
Man, it was, I used to get into a lot of fights so I was born in 94.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
When 9/11 happened, I was like 7. So after that, it was lit for people that look like me. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, I know.
I was, people were trying me and I was fighting. So I used to fight a lot, man. But my culture is a warrior culture.
It's a warrior culture, yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't something that I wasn't taught how to handle. I just experienced it a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why, the first time I heard hip hop, I was like 8 years old maybe. And I could relate to it so much because it was about, my introduction to it was through 8 Mile. Because I was 8 years old
through 8 Mile,
when that came out. Yeah, so like, just the way it opens up with Shook Ones. You know what I mean? Then you hear Prodigy, I punch you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone.
Yeah. Nose bone, nigga. Gangster.
How visual that was. And me being 8 years old and like recognizing that and picturing it, you know what I mean? And then just seeing the whole movie surrounded about being an MC and battle rapping and all of that, you know what I mean? I related to it so much because of the upbringing I was having, you know what I mean? I always felt like my back was against the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what that's like. This kind of leads into the next question, where I want to know, how did you first get into hip hop? I mean, you already elaborated on it.
Right.
So I mean,
yeah. Well, that was just the introduction, you know what I mean? Because I was only 8.
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't buy CDs or anything. You know what I mean? So I was introduced to LimeWire. Y'all remember?
Yeah, I remember LimeWire.
Shout out
giving
to
my computer AIDS.
Yeah, so every computer I used it on, it would fuck up after a while.
You gotta go 6 months before you get a virus.
Yeah. But yeah, so I had seen this speech that M had gave, because I only, my hip hop knowledge was very limited. I only knew like the rappers in the movies. I knew like the whole Shady G Unit camp and shit, but I didn't know everybody else. And I saw this speech that M gave. It was at the Grammys or something, and then he just thanked all the MCs that inspired it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He said, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Naughty by Nature, you know what I mean?
The classics.
Pop Big L, Big Pun, everybody, right? So all the names he said, I started searching them up, and then I also started on LimeWire, and then I also started, being introduced to more rappers through like features and shit like that. You know what I mean? If I didn't search up Nas yet, and I only was listening to G-Rap, and then I hear Fast Life with G-Rap and Nas, then I'm like, oh shit, let me check out Nas.
Right.
And then through that, I hear Foxy or something. Then I'm like, all right, let me check out this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just started. So from like 2006 to like 2008, the only thing I was doing was doing my hip hop history.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So because I feel like the way I was taught, because I always hung around older people, was it's always respectful to check in with the OGs.
With the OGs,
for sure.
I respect it.
Yeah, so it's the same thing with hip hop. I can't call myself an MC unless I know all the MCs that came before me.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
Real shit.
Yeah, so that's what the beginning was. I didn't even start listening to current level shit until like when I was in 2008, 2009. that's when I kind of popped out of my old school bubble and started checking out like what's around. Then I got introduced to, you know what I mean, Tech Nine, Slaughterhouse, Elzai, all the shit that was out there.
That's what's up. A true hip hop historian is what it sounds like to me, man. You definitely seem like you done your homework for sure.
I love
Absolutely.
So I gotta ask you, with that said, what made you become a battler or get into the battle rap culture?
Well, since I was introduced to, you know what I mean, the essence of hip hop so early, I got introduced to the concept of an MC versus a rapper. I always say the word MC because, you know what I mean, people my age,
there's a difference.
Yeah, they don't really say that word anymore too. You know what I mean? So like, you know, you got different kind of rappers. You got fast rappers, slow rappers, storytellers, lyricists, battlers, all kinds of different rappers. And an MC is somebody that does everything.
Yeah,
you know
that's what it's about. Mic controller, that's what that is.
Yeah,
Facts.
right. So you could put on, in today's terms, you could put on a trap beat and you could double time on it. You could put on an old school beat, you could rock it. You could tell a story. You could make a song for the club. You could freestyle. You could battle. You could do everything. You know what I mean? So that's the concept I was introduced to when I first started rapping, and so I always just wanted to do everything. So I obviously started off just making music, shit like that. And then I got into my first battle in 9th grade. So
high school shit.
This is how it happened, right? So there was a lot of rappers in my school. And obviously everybody in my grade knew that I was a rapper because I stood out so much. The kid with the turban, he's fire, you know what I mean? So when I got to 9th grade, it was high school, so now the 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, they know me, you know what I mean? So I would always rap any chance I got. So then, you know, when people started to know who I was, one time I'm in the hallway, right? And then these upper class, like 10, 11th grade, there's 3 dudes come up to me. Yo, I heard you rap. Let me hear something. I was like, all right, cool. I start rapping my little rhyme. I only wrote 16s at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't know, I didn't explore past that. I just wrote 16s. So I do my little 16. And they each take turns rapping, but they're rapping at me.
Yeah, with hella bars. They came to kill you. They came to kill you.
All 3 of them start rapping at me. You know what I mean? So now, like, a little crowd is forming around, and all I got is rhymes about myself.
Wow.
I got no rhymes that even sound like I'm dissing somebody. I just got rhymes about how ill I am. You know what I mean? So I had nothing to say, and I didn't know how to freestyle then. This is 9th grade, right?
Yeah.
So I got mad, right? I went home. I wrote this, like, 100-bar verse. I memorized it. I knew where they sat at lunch because they had the same lunch period as me. And I got my revenge. I went up to the table, and I was like, yo, let's battle
get your
again.
get back, nigga.
Yeah. And then I found out one of them wasn't even a rapper. One of them just had one verse. And
That he just spit for everybody.
Yeah, but it was like a Beans verse.
Oh, hell nah.
Oh, one of those niggas.
Yeah. I didn't know because I hadn't heard Beans yet. You know what I mean? I heard Beans later, maybe 2 years later. When I was like, because I missed a couple people, you know what I mean? When I was doing the
it's
hip-hop
expected.
history shit.
Yeah, it's expected.
Yeah, so then I heard it was on The Truth or something, and I'm bumping. I'm like, oh shit, this the rhyme that kid used to kick. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so then I had this whole 100-bar verse, and then, you know what I mean? Since then, I started writing more rhymes that I would write the rhymes about myself, but I'd also write, you know what I mean, more punchlines about shit that I could say to other people too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
that was my first battle experience, and then from then I was battling all the time. I had this studio that I went to out in East Orange. That's like near Newark and shit. And there was a lot of rappers that passed through it, so I would like battle people over there. And obviously, people never seen a rapper with a turban on, so they was like, "Yeah, I'll take him."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I already got like mad verses I could just cycle through and battle with. You know what I mean? So
You prepared at that time.
yeah, exactly.
That's a good look.
So,
That's what it is,
Right.
man. So let me see, like, before you became a battler yourself, you know, prior to competing, what would you say were some of your favorite battles to watch?
oh man, like the first battle I ever seen was Gin and Verse.
Smack
A lot of people
DVD
don't
era.
remember that.
Yeah, the words connect. It was that, and then I seen Mook and Mills, and then Mook and Sirius Jones, and then Solomon and
Math.
Sherman Tide. Like I was watching all those old Smack DVD battles.
Yes, sir.
And then, like I said, from like 06 to 08, I kind of was just listening to old school hip hop, so I didn't know about Fight Club or anything yet.
Yeah.
And then around, you know, when I got out of that and I was bumping all the new shit, I saw the Fight Club shit. You know what I mean? And I remember Iron Solomon was one of my favorites, and Mook was too. But I remember there was only two people that I thought beat Solomon, and that was Math and Thesaurus, right?
Yeah,
so
Thesaurus.
I searched up Math, right? I see, Math versus Nems with the little bitch, right? I see that, and then I type in Thesaurus, and then I see Thesaurus versus Disaster. So then I get introduced to Grind Time.
Grind
right?
Time.
So then I'm watching Grind Time until URL pops up. Now I'm watching both of them, and then I saw Dumbfounded battle Kid Twist on King of the Dot. Then I started watching King of the Dot too. I was watching everything. I got introduced to Don't Flop in the UK, I was just...
You're just a fiend for content. You one of those.
Yeah, I'm a fan of hip-hop, so
yeah, once you get into it, you looking for everything.
Yeah, because I'm not there's some people that only watch...
Yeah,
Smack,
one league or one rapper.
Or only watch King of the Dot. There's different things to appreciate, you know what I mean? So, if, over here on Smack, punchlines are more appreciated than rhyming.
Right.
Whereas when you go to King of the Dot, if you rhyming with the same 8 syllables, people notice it. You know what I mean? Whereas if you did that on Smack, it's more so like, yo, where's the punch?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then vice versa. If you just punching a lot and you go to King of the Dot, they're like, all right, but he's only rhyming the last word. You know what I mean? There's different standards. There's different styles. I like all of that shit. So, I was watching everything. My, Disaster DNA was a big one that I seen. That I was in like 11th grade. Obviously, Diz and Cannabis.
Golden era. You a golden era nigga. I like that, bro. I really do. I like that.
And then I watched everything. I'm trying to remember if there was any that like stuck out. B Magic was a lot. B Magic and Chilla was one that I watched a lot.
That was a good one.
Magic has always been one of my favorites. Sean, Pat Stay, people like that. Like those are the dudes that I always Arsenal. Those are the dudes that I always like would watch the battles and like root for them kind of, because I was like learning. I learned a lot from watching people like Pat Stay and Shine and B Magic and like people that were versatile and doing a whole bunch, like people, everything the same way I took from like hip hop artists. It was with battle rappers where I was like, all right, when I battle, I learned from Pat. All right, I could be a little sarcastic sometimes. You know what I mean? I learned from Sean how to make my delivery better. You know what I mean? I learned shit like that. You know what I mean? So those were my favorites. But I watched everything, man.
That's what's up.
All right. Well, you're from a state that ranks heavy in battle rap. So, with that said, I want to know who's your top 5 from Jersey.
Man, without including myself.
Without including yourself, of course. I already know how that go.
Nah, I'm trying to be the. I'm just trying to rep the state right now. You know what I mean? Because there's a big stigma.
Nah, you definitely should. You're right. You the next generation for them. The OGs is about to sit down for good. Feel me? It's about that time. So
you gotta do Arsenal. You gotta do Surf. You know what I mean? Old Red, Suge, and Twerk.
Suge and Twerk.
That's your top 5. I respect it. I'm surprised you didn't say Solo or Sirius or anything like that. Like
Sirius gets left out a lot.
Yeah, he do.
Yeah, they're fire too, but like, I mean, the top 5. That's like,
nah, you're right.
I feel you.
You're right. You're definitely right. You're right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to, you know what I mean, get up in there, in that top 5.
For sure.
Before everything's said and done. But,
I'm glad you said that. So I'm going to ask you, what is your goal for your career in this battle rap culture?
Well, in battle rap, my goal with rap in general is just whenever I stop rapping, if you name my name with the greats, it makes sense. You know what I mean? In something like hip hop that's so opinionated, you can't just ultimately be in a slot. You know what I mean? Because everything's opinionated. So I'm trying to get to the point to whenever I hang it up, that if you name my name with greats, it doesn't sound out of pocket. You know what I mean? That's the goal. So whether it's in battle rap, and then you name it, you know what I mean, Mook Lux, Arsenal, Hollow, you naming all these people, and then you say Real Sikh, it doesn't sound out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? And the same thing with hip hop. That's the goal.
Well, that's
with
the goal, yeah.
With, you know, I make a lot of music. I have a lot of music. I think you could tell if you watch me battle, because I got a flow when I battle.
Yeah,
so,
you do. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, you can tell by the delivery that you get busy on tracks, you know what I'm saying? I definitely could tell. You know what I'm saying?
So I got a lot of that just saved up. I'm waiting. Probably around this next battle, I'm going to release like a video with it, and then an EP, and slowly just keep releasing shit like that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people did ask for shit like that. I got a project out, but it's like 2 years old. You know what I mean? My shit now is like, it's good, but my shit now is like better. So
I feel you.
As a rapper, I critique myself heavy. You know what I mean? So,
right. I feel you. Let the people know where they can hear that if you want to go ahead and promote that real quick.
Yeah,
and drop your social media too.
It's called Rebel with a Cause. It's out on all streaming platforms. You know what I mean? Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal.
We definitely gonna put that in the description.
For sure.
Word. Yeah, it's good, but I just want y'all to keep in mind, I'm better now.
Yeah,
I feel you.
It's old shit.
Yeah.
We get it.
I feel you.
It's 2 years ago. So yeah, my shit now, and I've been also learning new recording techniques and shit like that. Shout out to y'all know who Nino Bless is?
Heard that name before.
Yeah.
He was on the first Slaughterhouse song.
Okay.
So he's an alien. He's crazy with this shit, right? So he's one of my close friends, and he's in the dungeon, you know, recording all the time. So I'm learning a lot of shit from him too. You know what I mean? Little things I could make. I could do to make my shit better. You know what I mean? I'm working on that and battling at the same time. You know what I mean? So
for sure. A student of the game, like that's one thing I could definitely take away from this conversation. You gotta respect that. Now I gotta ask you, man, talk about your experience in the Ultimate Madness tournament, man, from getting in there and what you did in there. You know, just talk about the whole experience, the one-offs that came after. Just give us a little breakdown of that whole experience for you.
That was the craziest experience, because like, so it was the first, and mind you, me versus Jay was the first battle ever for Ultimate Madness.
You versus Jay the Nightwing, right?
Yeah.
That's
we
what I
kicked
thought.
the whole shit off. So
and that shit was crazy.
We were the guinea pigs, you know what I mean? They didn't know what was gonna work. They were guessing with how the judging system works and all of that, you know what I mean? The time limits, whatever. So that was the first time I was nervous in a long time.
Wow.
Because, you know what I mean? So I started battling on UW in 2015, and from then to like 2018, I was just battling like 2-3 battles a year. I wasn't taking it serious. And then when I started battling on iBattle in 2019, Lex Luthor knows what to do. So he was like, look, you just need to battle more consistent, you'll be known. And the whole time I was doing that, I wasn't nervous. I was just showing up and doing what I do. But then when I showed up to battle Jay, it's this whole big production. And you know what I mean? It's the first
Smack
time
that's the big leagues.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm rapping in front of Smack and Beasley. You know what I mean? This is my second URL battle ever. The first one was
a
like
PG, right?
Yeah, it was just a PG. Now you got all these big dogs in the building, this big production. It's live. You know what I mean? Like all these intangibles, and I was nervous. You know what I mean? And at the same time, everybody kept comparing it to UFF. So really? I kept remembering when people call time, like mid-bar. They don't even let you finish the bar. They just call time. So one of the mistakes I made was I was rapping a little faster than I wanted to be rapping because I wanted to get everything out. I didn't know. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how you time your shit at home. It's always going to be different on stage. I could time my shit for... That's why, like, if I write for 3 minutes, if it's supposed to be 3 minutes, I'll write, like, 3:05 or 3:10 or something, just to make sure that I got everything, because in the moment it's always different. You might speed up a little and then you slow down at some parts, you know what I mean? So I was, like, rapping faster. I think me and Jay is a great battle, definitely one of the best.
It is. From that first round, it definitely is. Yeah. It's one of the top battles that happened that first round.
Yeah, so I think that I made a statement with that battle, and you know, Kid Chaos did too. So then, you know, me and Kid Chaos locked in again because I was like, I'm not go. It's not like I battled somebody that was like ass and then I lost. Jay ended up going to the finals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could make the argument if me and Jay was on opposite sides of the bracket.
It would have been y'all two in
facts.
the end instead of him and Fonz. That's a fact. That's a complete fact.
That's a fact.
So, but still, as an MC, I was like, I'm not going out like that. You know what I mean? So, me and Chaos got locked in. I always respected Chaos too. You know what I mean? And I think those two battles are definitely standouts from that first season, that first Ultimate Madness season. You know what I mean?
Especially you and Jay. You and Jay set the tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so too. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a crazy experience. Again, it was also my introduction to the majority of the Smack URL fan base because my PG only had maybe 80,000 views. You know what I mean? So this was kind of more of an introduction to people that tune in to Smack. You know what I mean? So a lot of people skip over PGs and shit like that. So this was like the first time a lot of people were seeing me. So I know I had to, do what I do. So, yeah, that whole experience was crazy, man.
I'm gonna ask you, did you have any hesitation going into a tournament where you knew it was gonna be judged? You know what I mean?
No, because I got in the game with a tournament. I joined the UW tournament, and I won that. So that's how I got in the game.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So tournaments wasn't a problem. The only problem was for the first round. You know what I mean? We had so much time. I had so many different because I don't just write rounds. I write sections. You know what I mean? And in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put these segments in the first, these segments in the second. I like keeping it like that because if I got something in the third, but then my opponent mentions it in the first,
you can switch it out.
Yep, I can just switch it out.
I like that. I don't know, yo, hold on. I'm sorry, I don't want to stop you, but I feel like you're giving away the goods. Let these niggas continue to choke because they don't know how to do that. Chill, don't give it away, homie. Hold it down. That's your secret.
Yeah. I just, my main point was I had so much shit for Jay that I was like, obviously in my head after the battle, I'm like, damn, what if I had like a whole round just in case he choked like he did before, you know what I mean? I had so much shit for that first round, and then I got 2 weeks later battle Kid Chaos, you know what I mean? So I had to, it was a crazy experience doing all of that shit, but yeah, I forgot what the question was. I just reflected.
Nah, you covered it, fam. You covered it, fam, for sure. Now, I'm not just saying this because this battle is fresh in my mind, but Chilla is one of your most standout performances. I mean, I love the eye battle work, but that performance against Chilla was something else. So let me ask you this. If you got a fan coming, like say I got one of my homeboys coming to me, and like, yo, who is this Real Sikh guy? What battle am I putting on to seal the deal? Like, yo, this guy is valid. What would that battle be for you?
Yeah, I agree. I think Chilla's probably my best performance too. But a good introduction to me and the way people were, introducing me to people was me versus XL. Me versus XL is a one-rounder that's it's only like 12 minutes. You know what I mean? It's a quick, all right, if you want to know how I rap and what I do, this is the perfect 3-4 minute display of what I do. It's the flow switch ups, it's the punchlines, it ends with a little angle, you know what I mean? There's some jokes in it got everything, you know what I mean? And me and XL was that battle is what got me my URL call and my call when I went to London. Those two calls happened because of my XL battle. You know what I mean? So that's a good introduction. And then, I think you can go from there to just what I did after that. You can show them my PG after that, then when I went to London on the big stage, then my Ultimate Madness shit, then my Chiller shit, and then whenever this B Magic battle drops. You know what I mean? Just I'm getting better and better, and it's dangerous, more and more dangerous. You know what I mean? Because me and Chiller had 16 days, and that's what we did.
Wow, I definitely didn't know that. Y'all both went off. I didn't know that.
That was a crazy one. That's probably the best one.
Sheesh. That was one of the better battles from Rookies versus Vets.
That
I'm
was
not
like
going
the
to hold
top
you.
3. That one, the Coffee.
Yeah, Coffee and Magic was a good one. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, since we on the topic of Magic, you ain't got to give away everything, but, how was that battle? You know what I'm saying? On Born Legacy.
It was ugly, bro.
It was like,
I mean, if y'all seen the Hip Hop is Real interview, those out there listening, Magic said, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying?
he did that.
He did that, but
this is what happened, man, and this is what I think it is. Magic, before me, he didn't really watch battles like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not a rapper that you could just, you know what I mean? All right, his name is Real Sikh. I'm a name flip him for 3 rounds. It doesn't work with me because I do everything. Yeah, I can do everything. So that's what happened. He went first, and he got through a round clean, and he did what Magic does. But my first round was so back-to-back and direct that I think, and DNA told me this too, DNA was like, yo, I think you made him forget his shit. Because I think it was like that too. Because before the battle, he rapped his shit to JC and Danger Zone and he was rapping his shit to them flawlessly. You know what I mean? And then in the battle, like, I was also, he's monotone. I was barking on him. So like, I think all of that stuff added to him forgetting his shit. And then by the second round, it was overkill because I had this thing where I made fun of how he always sounds like he's rapping on a beat. But like right after he finished his slogan, I started doing the beat on my chest with the clap. It's the only rhythm that he keep, you know what I mean? And I just took the whole energy away, and I was talking to him, you know what I mean? I had maybe 2 B Magic flips, like name flips. That's it. Everything else was directly talking to him. You know what I mean? And that type of shit works a lot in this environment because nobody else. I was getting interrupted. I wasn't rapping for reaction, but I was still getting reaction from the 10 people in the room. You know what I mean? So yeah, that. But like I said earlier, B Magic was one of my favorites. So this was a bucket list battle for me. You know what I mean? I wanted to get this on the resume. Like I said, Chilla and B Magic. That was a battle I watched a lot, and I just battled them back to back. You know what I mean? So and talking to Smack, he has a lot of big plans for me. So I felt like if the big plans keep happening, which they will, because I'm gonna keep showing up and proving, me versus B Magic might not make sense in a year. It'll make sense while I'm in my early stages. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a bucket list battle for me. That was, it was crazy, but it was definitely ugly.
So with that said, you getting that push.
Born Legacy, you getting that push. I'm liking where this is going.
Yeah.
What matches you want for 2021? Who you trying to see?
That every time I get asked this question, man, I always feel like to have a hit list, you gotta put in a hit list is something that you don't even need to make. Like if you're doing your job,
niggas want you.
The fans gonna make the hit list for you.
These
you know
are
what
facts.
I mean? So that's the best way, because when you're new in the game and you know what I mean, you put on a couple great performances and then you start calling people out. That's how you get Jona'd. You know what I mean? So like you gotta be smart with your moves. You gotta, and it's not only because you don't know what you're stepping into. It's just you want the fans. The fan perception is a big thing, right? So like, even though like random battles could end up being crazy, like me and Chilla was a random battle, but it ended up being crazy. Like the fans is more so what books the shit. If Smack and them see, all right, the fans want to see Real Sikh versus this person, it's gonna get booked more so than not. You know what I mean?
It's gonna sell itself.
Yeah. So the names that I've seen that people want to battle, that people want me to battle, I've seen me versus Mike P. I've seen me versus Disaster. I've seen.
I don't want to see you versus Disaster. You're gonna kill him. I don't want to see that.
He's not a Disaster fan, so.
I don't want.
But no, I will say you and Mike P.
I want to see you and Mike P.
You and Mike P would be a conversation. You know
that's
what I'm
a
saying?
conversation we need
I ain't
to
gonna
have.
hold you.
Yeah, I just hope they're not like looking at us and saying those will be good matches, because like those are two. People say I look like Mike P.
Yeah, I'm not gonna front. Just the look of it is fascinating. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But YouTube bar for bar, I want to see that. I want to see what
There's
you
a
would
couple
say.
people like I wouldn't mind seeing you versus
I
Briz
don't
when he
think you
get
would
back
take that
active.
Indian angle with
That'd be
you.
crazy. Yeah. Me and Briz would be crazy.
I mean, I'm just, you know, I mean, it's plenty of names I could throw out there, but I agree with your statement though. You know what I'm saying? The names that people see and the matchups that they like, they gonna sell themselves. You ain't got to throw no names out there. You know what I'm saying?
Smack likes me and JC. He think me and JC would be a crazy one.
That would be a good conversation.
Why she run it all y'all through JC so early? Not like
I don't know. JC, you know what's good about rappers like JC? They've been in the game for so long. They'll battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, he
earlier in the year, and then he took Kid Chaos later in the year. You know what I'm saying? Like that keeps the game going. You know what I mean? I saw Arsenal say that when before he battled Jerry West. He said, like, you can't be a living legend if you're not helping the new guys.
That's a fact, but I feel like y'all taking them immediately. Like, y'all just...
I mean, I can only speak for myself. If I could go pen for pen with Chilla in a room like that.
Why not, JC?
Definitely. I see that. I understand that. Definitely. I definitely understand that. I'm not taking that from you at all. At all.
You catch any of the battles this weekend on Caffeine?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Shit, let's get a little your thoughts on some of the battles, man. What you think about Ill Will and Danny?
That you can't slip up on your words in this environment, man. So like, anytime a rapper, even though like if you was on like a big stage, and you know how Ill Will had a couple stumbles and shit like that, if he was on a big stage, they might have been excused. But when everything is quiet, you got to be 100% perfect. And I think that's probably the most debatable battle of the night.
You think so?
Yeah. Like,
more than B-Dot and Chilla?
The one, no, B-Dot and Chilla was better, but I think Chilla edged that one. You know what I mean? Because
I see a lot of people going with Chilla.
A lot of people thought Chilla won that.
Look, I'm a rapper. I rap more like B-Dot than I do like Chilla. You know what I mean? So I appreciate B-Dot's style a lot more. But again, you gotta be perfect with the shit, bro. You gotta know, like, cause B-Dot raps with a cadence too. You know what I mean? There's only like 5 of us, I think, that rap with a cadence. You know what I mean? And B-Dot is one of those dudes, which is why he sounds so crazy. You know what I mean? His first round was like ridiculous. You know what I mean? He overpowered Chilla with that shit. But then the next 2 rounds, he had a couple slip-ups and shit like that. The content was great. You know what I mean? But when you got a battle that close where both of the content is crazy, the shit that you kind of have to judge off is everything else. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with Danny and Ill Will. Like, Danny and Ill Will both had some crazy shit. So it was close content-wise. So you kind of got to judge it with everything else. You know what I mean? Because I don't think there was a clear difference in the content. You know what I mean? There might have been an edge in the content. Both of them was crazy. So like with Ill Will and Danny, I don't remember. I think I gave it to Ill Will in a moment.
Yeah.
Because his 3rd round angle was crazy.
Yeah.
But I remember my favorite bar was Danny's. He said something like, if I take something from inside out this pussy, it hits direct to me, or hits direct to me, something like that. That was crazy.
Yeah, Danny crazy with the wordplay.
Yeah, but then with Chilla and B-Dot, I was tuned all the way in. You know what I mean? Because, again, I stood in front of Chilla. So I predicted Chilla to win, too. Because I was like, he always finds a way. He's one of those dudes. He's like John in the sense where, like, you'll always, most of the time, at least for me, I always think he's about to lose, bro. And then, like, he always finds a way to make it, like, crazy. Like, him versus Chess, I thought Chess was going to wild on him. And then he ended up going crazy against Chess, you know what I mean? Like, shit, like, Chilla is like that. He's a very smart battle rapper. So, like, I knew, I was like, I think B-Dot's going to rap better than Chilla, but Chilla's going to attack better than B-Dot, you know what I mean? So, that's why I edged it to Chilla, you know what I mean? But,
okay.
Yeah, that was a better battle, but I think it was a little easier to call than Ill Will and Danny.
What you thought about Ars and Jerry West?
Jersey.
Yeah. Facts.
Jerry was fire, but look at how Ars was rapping, son. I don't think he stumbled once, and he was going at 80 miles an hour.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of shit works very well in this room. You know what I mean? So Ours was going crazy, and then Jerry, like the antics are cool, but like in a room like this, I don't think you should rely on those. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that phone
like
shit was
this,
kind of dry.
Yeah, especially when Arch did that move and kind of called it out in the first round. Like, I know what you about to do with this. You kind of got to, once that happens, you got to throw the whole shit away. Like, all right, I'm not even going to do that. So now or think of a way to rebuttal it. You know what I mean? But if you're just going to do it, it makes it look weird. You know what I mean? Especially when your opponent is so back-to-back with rapping. Like, Arch is always a dude that, like, he might not have the craziest punches, but he's gonna have the most continuous, like the way he's rapping at you is always gonna just sound like he got his foot on your neck. You know what I mean? Like, he's not letting up. He's not slowing down. He don't ever
That's
hit
a
the
fact.
brakes.
He never hit the brakes. He never hits the brakes.
It's like a freight train coming at you. Whereas other people, especially rappers that have the 4-bar format, you know what I mean? The problem with that is every 4 bars you resetting. It's like you restarting your momentum because it's every 4, and now your fans are kind of trained to know. All right, after this 4, there's going to be another 4, and then another 4. So then, by the time you get to the 3rd bar, everybody's expecting something crazy at the 4th, and if you don't deliver, it restarts the momentum. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
fact.
Whereas somebody like ours, he starts, and once he starts, he don't stop. So that works a lot in this room. So I think ours got that.
You know,
he might have edged every round.
Sitting here listening to you break down the style, that would be another battle I would like to see. Him and Arch, man. Sikh and Arch, that'd be.
Hey, that's another one Smack wants to set up. You know what I mean?
That would be crazy. I was going to ask you how you feel about battling the home team. You know what I mean? Whether it be Arch, Surf, Suge. You know, you about battling them Jersey cats too?
I would like. I always just root for everybody from Jersey. You know what I mean? So like, if I was to battle anybody from Jersey, I think Arch would make the most sense.
Definitely.
Because I started on UW, you know what I mean? And now if I end up battling the owner of UW, that's the only one that has like a storyline to it, you know what I mean? Like, like Twerk is a big supporter. He'll always hit me or randomly tweet, yo, Sikh, you gonna be a star. You know what I mean? He's a big supporter of mine. So, you know what I mean? And I even reached out to him when he was going through the car accident stuff. We cool, you know what I mean? Suge, me and Suge are cool too. Overhead in interviews always says, yo, Sikh is Jersey. Anytime he gets asked for Rookies versus Reds or something, he's like, Sikh is Jersey. You know what I mean? That's Jersey. He's like, we don't ever try to battle each other like that, you know what I mean? But I think if I was to battle, I battled Dre Dennis before, you know what I mean? He's from Jersey.
Yeah.
But I mean, from now that we're, on Smack or whatever, I think, Arsenal would make the most sense. And I think he would take it too.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that would definitely be a crazy one.
Yeah, man, we're gonna leave it on that, man. So just real quick, shout out your social media, where the people can find you, man, where they can find your music, you know what I mean? Shout it out real quick.
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram is Real Sikh 99. Sikh is spelled SIKH. On all the streaming platforms, just type in Real Sikh. YouTube, type in Real Sikh. And yeah, you might get a couple videos of like, you know what I mean, people with turbans and stuff. If you scroll past them a little, you'll get my battles and shit.
Nah, salute. I definitely saw you speak on the protests and what's going on in India too, man. Salute on that, man, for real.
Yeah, I wanted to real quick say something about that. I just spreading awareness on it. So basically, you know what I mean, a big part of the farmer population in India is Sikhs, my people, the people with the turbans, right? And the government just passed a law that basically affects their businesses the most, because our community owns most of the farms and stuff, and it's to make private companies own their land without their say. It's this whole the big business fucking government shit, like they're trying to take their land basically, right? So a lot of Sikhs and farmers started protesting, and then a lot of police brutality started to happen. They brought out hoses. They was like hitting people, and a lot of these people are in their 50s and 60s. You know what I mean? They're old people, and the police when the protests were going on in the beginning were you know, they were abusing their power. So then, you know what I mean, we ended up having the largest protest in history, 250 million people protesting in India. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you want to donate, there's a organization called Khalsa Aid, KHALSA AID. They help out a lot. People are out there. They're outside, literally just sitting there. You know what I mean? They're like passing. Everybody's like bringing meals, and they staying right there till the laws get changed. You know what I mean? So I definitely wanted to bring, even though a big part of my following is, you know, battle rap. Like this is also something I want to bring awareness to, because that's who I am. You know what I mean? I'm Sikh, so I have to bring awareness to this as much as I can. You know what I mean? So yes.
Much respect, man. Lil, I'm gonna have links in the bio where y'all could donate, where y'all could become more aware on what he just spoke on, for real, man, because that's something that's real, that's going on right now, and we definitely want to raise awareness on that. We praying for those people over there, you heard? But
yeah,
like I said, man, we're gonna post this everywhere, man. You know how we give it up. Real Sikh, man. We appreciate the time, man. You one of the future stars of this battle rap shit, man. We hoping for the best for you, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep supporting you here at bYc, man. We appreciate your time.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Already.
You are now listening to Bringing You Classics Radio.
Bringing you classics.